Okay, we are back in with Lathans and Tanner. Lathans playing as the first armoured. We will catch up to them in a minute. Is Tanner a man with a plan? Pretty even on the voting so far. Okay, I've got the tick. So that means the advert should be finished for people, if they were getting some. So, Tanner over here, in red, playing as the 5th Panzer Division. Let's have a look at the units he's actually got down. The reason I wonder if he's a man with a plan is he's gone in, instantly put everything down. Like, he's been really fast. Like, look at that. Lathans was still putting units down, and Tanner is just, he's done. That's quite impressive. It's going to be very hard to decipher where everything's going. A couple of Milans. A Leo 2A4 out already. A Leo 1A5 command. Another Milan. Flieger Forsts. Marder Milans with Panzer Grenadiers. Times 4, 5. And a Roland 3. And he's going everywhere. He's only sending one thing to Bravo, though. Is he surrendering Bravo early is a worry. He could cut Lathans off, though, because he's got a lot going to Foxtrot. So the way this map works is it's really important to hold Echo and Foxtrot, and then any mix of Bravo, Alpha and Zulu. But holding Echo and Foxtrot is quite important. They're the ones where everyone fights over, really. And then over here for P.Uri Lathans, who feels very far away from everything, but he's not really. It's really difficult. Some people say that this side of the map is more advantageous, but equally, if you get pushed out of those points, you have a big open area to get back into them. So, in that sense, it's a difficult side. Terrier's Paras pushing in, good spread out there, just trying to get into more defensive positions, I think, and try and hold the line. Gazelle Recon heading up just to see what's coming in. Neither player with any helicopters. Foxes, yeah. 2 going here, which will interrupt or be getting there about the same time as Tanner's units. And 1 going for Bravo. Obviously, I'm sure Lathans would love to get hold of Bravo. He's playing his first armoured again, which he seems to be really enjoying at the moment. A couple of Milan 2s and some Assault Pioneers. Yeah, I was going to say 1 Milan 2, 1 Assault Pioneer going here, 1 Milan 2 going over here. And then he's got a chunk of change here. 2 Milan 2s, 2 Javelin LMLs, and a Chieftain Command, all heading up this way. Chieftain Command looks to be heading into here and then heading over to Zulu. So, okay. Lathans is going to attempt to cap Alpha and Zulu. Try and hold Echo. And try and harass Foxtrot to be able to take it later and at least stall Tanner from getting in there. It'll be interesting to see if that works out, because I feel like Tanner's sending quite a lot here. And it really depends on timing of stuff getting there. Hey there, Neon, how are you doing? But we'll see how it pans out. We're not going to have any really early fighting, though, other than the Foxes hitting Foxtrot, because neither player has come out with any helicopters. And usually we see maybe a couple of helicopters just to dissuade early pushes. But neither here obviously have access to the Mi-24. Neither really... I mean, Tanner technically has access to some decent attack helicopters, so he could have brought those out. But Lathans probably would have just brought out a AA jet to deal with them straight away. So I'm expecting the early combat to be here at this side of the map, but we'll see. Jaeger Commander. That's what was coming this way. Ooh. Is that that is a solo Jaeger Commander coming around to this point. And it's going to be meeting a fox. 2 foxes. He had 4 foxes there. I thought he only had 3. Maybe he put another one down. I'm going crazy. One of the 2. Tornado Seed coming in here. Did he know? Did he know there was going to be a Roland 3 there? He doesn't get the shot off though. Roland 3 being micromanaged. Does get a hit on the seed. Both players getting their back points. Foxes racing in here. I'm worried about that command infantry. Tanner might lose it pretty early here. Fox is engaging on these guys coming in. Tanner really needs to deploy those Milans. Just don't want them getting destroyed in the vehicle is the main thing. Foxes will beat the command there. I'm worried Tanner will not see that coming and will lose his command. I'm surprised it's gone over there on its own, to be honest. 1 Milan 2 goes down. A Gazelle Recon is destroyed and a Fox goes down. Fox Milan goes down. Some of the transports being taken out there. And the command is down the other side. That was the command infantry in one of those transports. The Foxes get the kill and are now on the move again. Nice kill for Lathans early on here. Lots of ATGM skirmishes going on here. Panzer Grenadiers go down in there. Marder Milan, unfortunately, for Tanner. Fliegerforce coming in there. Will run into those Foxes if it's not careful. I hope Tanner is paying attention to that. He maybe forgot he called it in. Lathans already with a good foothold here. Has managed to move through quite aggressively. He has Zulu and he's in the buildings at the other side. His Milan 2 here is causing a lot of destruction. Marder 1A3 goes down. Fliegerforce has been deployed early, thankfully, at the other side. But a little bit of a rough opening there. A few losses for Tanner. Less so for... And here it comes. HE Bomber coming in for that building. Very nice kills. Lathans will utilize his Air Force massively with this deck. He loves doing it. Now, the worst thing Tanner can do is get too bogged down in the city. Lathans is obviously in there. He's got a reasonable amount of units there at the moment. And the ideal thing for Lathans is Tanner gets bogged down in a meat grinder of warfare in the city. This is what Lathans will now be hoping for. He wants that to happen because then he can concentrate on the middle points. And obviously, over at the far side, Bravo there, with those Foxes in front of it. We do see some Lux coming in at the back there, and some Leo 1A5s. They will deal with the Foxes, but Lathans will fall back on his bombers. He will utilize those heavily if he gets the opportunity. Marker's gone down in that big building there because of the infantry in it. Lots of Leo 1A5s coming in at the back there for Tanner. Let's have a look at it from his point of view. Leo 2A4 hanging around in the city there. Another Milan 2 called in for Lathans. Currently +1 the Lathans. It's a slow tick. He is bringing in a Chieftain Mark 11 command, and he will be able to roll that into the 2 middle points at the very least. Another Milan 2 destroyed on Tanner's side. Lathans being fairly pushy over here. Just edging around with that Chieftain command. Over at this far side. The Fox is down. The Lux are ploughing through. Leo's coming in the rear. He should be able to take control of Bravo, which means he can then push across towards Foxtrot as well. Oh no! Leopard 1A5 command tank annihilated by the Milan 2 there. Side shot. That was really unfortunate. I think that had been moved and wasn't actively being microed by Tanner. That's an unfortunate loss. Fliegerforce pushing up this side will be needed to deal with this hell arm. Fliegerforce engaging. Lux are also engaging. I also hear a jet coming in. Everything is going for that hell arm. It needs to go down. And down it goes. We'll keep an eye on that side. Moving back over this way. Lots of Leo 185s in here. We'll be looking to do a push on Foxtrot eventually. And at this side, Leo 2A4 has taken a bit of a hit here. If Lathans gets the opportunity, he will push through the town. Tanner just needs to lock it down more than anything else. As I say, Lathans would love to make that into a meat grinder. He wants Tanner to go in there and waste points. That would be his ideal solution. While he slowly just reinforces the other side of the map. He's bringing in his first Challenger Mark II there. And an artillery piece at the back. There's a hell arm on the station waiting for all of this stuff to exit this tree line. And the Milan 2 obviously nicely positioned. And a Milan 2 coming in for this side as well. If Tanner can control Bravo, then he has two routes into Foxtrot, which is the ideal situation. But he needs to be careful with that Milan 2 rolling in. And obviously, all the while, there is this Fox round the back, which poses a threat to any commands traversing around. Good kill there. Leo 185 gets a kill on the Rover and the Milan 2. Whiffing their shots on the Bedford trucks though. Assault Pioneers will be hit by the Lux. Deployed in time though. We're going to take a reasonable amount of fire. Artillery being dropped on these units over here. Leo 2A4 takes a nasty hit to its front armour. I think Lathans is umming and ahhing over moving that Chieftain Mark 11 command possibly into this point. Could just be distraction. Artillery in here. 3 105mm pieces for Tanner. Obviously useful against those Milans in buildings. Over at the far side, Tanner remaining in control there. He needs to get a command in there sooner rather than later. Gepard coming in. +3 currently, 12 minutes, 50 odd seconds to the win for Lathans. I'm pleased to see though that realistically Tanner hasn't fallen into the trap of just bringing in loads of infantry for the town area, because that would be really bad. Counter battery artillery here. Those 105mm pieces hadn't moved. They are going to move now. They've been quite lucky. You've got to keep these things moving and spread out, especially against good players, because they will counter battery if they see you haven't moved. Seed coming in, looking for a kill on the AA. Looks like it's also... I thought it was going to do a strafing run there as well. Jets in at the back for Tanner as well. F4F. Seed coming in, takes a hit. Looks like it's going for the F4F, which isn't turning around fast enough. Oh, and down it goes. F4F is down. HE Bomber coming in, trying to get a kill on the Leo 2A4. Doesn't manage it though. Bombs land in front of it. Lathans looking pretty strong in the town though. As long as Tanner can hold it at that point and not let him through, it'll be fine. Over at this far side, still no command. There is a command infantry on the way. Chieftain Mark 11. Just hanging back there. I don't think Lathans is even going to attempt to push this point. I think he's just going to sit. He's got not a huge amount protecting Foxtrot right now. I think he's managed to distract Tanner enough at this side now. Because Tanner's bringing in M48s over here as well. I think Lathans has got what he wanted. I thought at first that Tanner wasn't falling for that game. But I think he might have fallen into Lathan's little trap. He's done it to me. This is why I call it Lathan's trap. He's done it to me. And it worked. He likes trying to make you bring in stuff that you don't need to on the wrong side of the map. And yes, massively loves his Air Force when he's playing as the 1st Armoured. Ridiculously so. Command finally in that other side for Tanner. Now he needs to make a move on Foxtrot. He needs to pressure Lathans. Only +2 now. Down to about 15 minutes to the victory. And Lathans is pushed back. Look at the positioning now. Lathans has retreated his command tank. He's gone back into Zulu. He's got another command tank sort of hovering around back there as well. Counter battery from him once more coming in against Tanner, but he's learned his lesson. He's keeping his stuff moving. Leo 2A3 coming in here. A couple of Hell Arms going in there as well. So there's a Leo 2A4 and 2 Leo 2A3s in this area. I question whether that's a good place for such heavy tanks in what is effectively a town area. And just thinking about how effective they could be over here. There's one Milan 2 protecting this point. And P.Uri.Tanner doesn't know it. Looks like he's making a move at this side though. And Tanner needs to take this point. He needs to be aggressive. It's just a shame that Leo 2A3, or, you know, at least one of them, if not two, were over here helping this push. Because they would mince that Milan 2 with minimal damage. But the beauty of being able to see the entire map, we know exactly what Lathans has here. And it's not a lot. Leo 2A3 being called in for the middle there. I'm just zooming out a wee bit. I'm trying to keep an eye on what's happening on the other side. Because I think... Is Tanner making a push with those tanks on Zulu? I think he is. I think he's decided, maybe since he has so much over there anyway. It's an interesting choice. It may... He's pulling back again. It's hard to say. Obviously, there's a Hell Arm over there, and unfortunately, Tanner doesn't have much AA. He is moving the Rolands in now, though. Needs to be careful with those Rolands. 3 Roland 3s coming in. The Seed coming in. Oh, wow. Lathans wants a piece of this. 2 Seed jets coming in. The Rolands are turned on. 2 Rolands go down. The third gets a hit and something else takes out the Seed. But the HE bomber gets the other Roland. You just see the horde of jets come in from Lathans and you're like, yeah, stuff's going to die. Another HE drop coming in. Just hammering those tanks at the front. Lots of damage done to the 2A3. 2A4, minimal damage, but has been smashed in terms of its cohesion. There's a Challenger Mark II waiting here for them. And that was well played by Lathans. Seed still in. Just flittering around there. F-Wef coming in for the Hell Arm. Stop it getting side shots on things. Down it goes. Another 2 Harrier HE2s coming in. Lathans isn't finished. He wants another piece of these tanks. And all the while, at the other side of the map, very little movement. And Lathans with very little defending. And there go the bombers. 1, 2, 3 goes down. The others dodge. That HE2 is getting out of there. And Lathans is on the move. Pushing out with the Challenger Mark II. Hell Arms assisting. He would love to get a couple more kills. Finish off these big tanks. Oh, miss with the Hell Arm. Challenger's still going though. Lathans being very aggressive here. He knows he's done a good job. Still +2. 10 minutes to the victory. And unfortunately for Tanner, he is making a move at the other side finally. That's the right thing to do. I wish he'd done it a few minutes earlier. But it hasn't really changed things other than HE bombers coming in. Oh, poor Alouette gets sideswiped by that missile. Nice dodge with those leopards. Command moving across. There's every chance that Tanner can take this point now. HE2 coming in, gets the kill on a Leo 2A3. Oh, that is nasty. P.Uri 2A3 out there on its own. And over at this side, Tanner has had to pull right back. Lathans finally catches his artillery out. But Tanner should be able to get into Foxtrot now. He just needs to be reasonably aggressive about it. And he needs to defend the other side, because Lathans is going to push it. What Lathans is lacking right now is infantry over there. He's relying on the Challenger Mark II to do the damage. As long as the 2A4 here can get repaired, then at least he can stop the Challenger. And just see that Chieftain Mark 11 command rolling in. Milan 2 getting shots across the runway there. Kills another Leo 1A5. Tanner's almost in this point. Still +2 to Lathans. Once Tanner takes this, it'll be neutralised. But the real concern is Lathans is closing in on this back point. And Leo 1A, 1A1s aren't going to scratch that Challenger very much. There we go. 2A4 and 2A3 back in action. Although, the question is, how soon a Lathans jet's going to be back in action? Because those bombers are coming back out soon. Tanks v tanks down here. He needs to focus down these chieftains. He's on the command tank. Good. Almost got the kill. Another 2A3 coming in. Smoke goes down. 2A4 takes a nasty hit. Smokes and retreats. Challenger takes a nasty hit. That was a side shot, I think. Just got scraped on the side. And that's Lathans on the run. Over at this side, artillery coming in on Tanner, right on top of where his command is. He is moving out the way. He needs to get the command in that point. 7 minutes for the victory for Lathans. This should neutralise things. And Lathans is on the run over here. Smokes his tank. Tanner not pushing his luck though. Chasing after them. There is another Chieftain Mark 11 command at the back there. And there are a couple of Hell Arms moving in as well. And there we go. Finally. After half the time has gone in the game, Tanner neutralizes. Is this the point of the turnaround? He's done plenty of damage to the tanks at this side. Loads of warrior Milans with arm rifles coming in though. It's going to be difficult, I think, for Tanner to come back here. 18 minutes seems like a long time, but he will need to cap a couple of points to catch up and take over. 2 jets go down there. There's obviously a lack of ground anti-air for Tanner. Losing 3 Roland 3s. Here come the F4Fs. Tornado is getting the hell out of there. Is managing to dodge everything as well. Oh, that is unfortunate. F4F goes down. Another F4F goes down. Lathans controls the skies. Bombers coming in again. Looking for kills on the 2A4. Doesn't get it. Stresses it out though. 2 more bombers coming in. Dropping on where the tanks were. Doesn't get any kills. F4Fs flying over enemy territory are being evac'd now, but are going to go over the javelins. Tornado F3 coming across for them as well. Lathans once again controlling the sky in this game. He is fantastic with his aircraft at the moment. He's been doing that in quite a few games with the 1st Armoured. Do we see what's happening at the back lines here? I think Tanner's had enough of those artillery pieces, you know. Look at that, you're 185 all the way around there, and the looks on top of those. Both artillery pieces go down, the M109s are destroyed. And Tanner gets a free Chinook out of that. No more artillery for Lathans. He's had to call in some Gazelle rockets to deal with the looks. That's one nuisance dealt with. Now Tanner needs to take some ground. He needs to defend over here, because I think he'll have a hard time taking Zulu. He could do with taking Echo, and he is pushing across the airport over here. Crossing the runway, moving up with those Leos, and there's not a lot to stop him. There is a command tank and a Milan 2 parked in the building over there. HE bomber coming in, going to hit this area. Tornado, HE bomber, dishing out the damage. Doesn't get the kill, but the Leos do. Chieftain, Mark 11 command goes down. Come on, Tanner, push, push. At the far side of the map, you see loads of units pulling back now for Lathans. The Hell Arms moving back. Chinooks pulling back. Challenger Mark II and Chieftains, and another Challenger Mark II being moved over here to defend. Lathans obviously having to quickly redistribute his forces to defend Echo. HE bombers coming in to do as much damage as possible. He needs all these tanks dead. And lots of damage has been done. Milan got 1. F-Weps do come in, maybe a wee bit late. The Leo 1A5 at the back there has been caught by the Gazelles. There's another Chieftain Mark 11 command coming in. Jaeger commander pushing across here. Just running in open across the runway. Surely Lathans has seen that. Over at this far side. Tanner not being quiet though. Is pushing up with his tanks. Clearing out the buildings with the infantry. The warrior Milans mincing those Zisharungs though. Artillery going in against that Milan 2 now finally. Should take that out. Challenger Mark II is on that Jaeger commander though. Appears to have lost sight of it. Got 1 shot off and is not able to get a second. every chance that Tanner is going to get that command in that point now. I didn't think he was going to make it across the runway. Tornado coming in, looking for another kill on some damaged tanks. This could be nasty. They're still reversing, thankfully. Oh, supply vehicle destroyed, and the Flieger Force goes down. But not the end of the world. Smoke going in that corner. Tanner takes the point. Chinook supply being sold by Tanner. He's taking his few points that he gets out of that engagement at the back of the map. +2 currently to Tanner. But it's 24 minutes of the victory with 13 minutes left of the game. He won't even be able to catch Lathans up at the moment. And Lathans is returning the favour here. Look at these Warrior Milans. They're looking to come and kill this artillery. If Tanner can do it, Lathans can do it. That's what that's saying. Warrior Milans there opening up with the ATGMs. Gets a miss on the first pass. Many F4Fs coming in. Not getting any kills though. Leo's coming across to deal with these warriors. Over at this side, Tanner holding. But he doesn't have time to take this game unless he captures more of the map. And it may mean either slipping around the back to the rear point at Lathan's side, or circumventing the town and pushing around that far side where the Fuchs Razid is. But he will have to get past the Hell Arm. Leo 2A4 finally goes down. It's put up a hell of a fight at that side of the map. It's avoided being killed multiple times. It's finally out the picture. Leo 2A3 goes down as well. Lathans will be pleased with those kills. Loads of infantry coming in here for Lathans, so you can retake control of Echo. The Challenger Mark II remains intact. HE bomber going in. The amount of HE bombers in Lathan's deck is obscene. It goes in again, takes some damage, but doesn't appear to get any kills, and it will go down. Fuchs Milan's going down to the Warrior Milans and the Challenger Mark II. The Jaeger Commander was saved though. It did make it all the way across the other side of the runway. This Warrior Milan's coming in quite aggressively here, clearing everything up. And Lathan's being super aggressive over here as well. All those Gazelle rockets charging in, trying to get a kill on that Gepard. The Gepard goes down. One remains. It is opening fire again. Surely the Gepard can kill these Gazelles. It seems to be having a hard time of it. Lathans retakes the center. Echo. Back to neutralized with 10 minutes left of the game. I thought we might see a mighty comeback, but I think Tanner is going to struggle now. Another good bombing strike there. Jaeger Commander goes down in the middle of the map. And I think it's all over. I think Tanner has pretty much been overrun. He's hanging in here, but there's that Chieftain Mark 11 command rolling into this back point as well. The one over in Echo pushing across to Foxtrot. And there it is. The command has entered here. There's no counter command for Tanner. As ever, these two putting on an amazing show. But Lathan's just really brutalizing everybody with his Air Force lately. Really effective with it. He will take Foxtrot as well, currently on a +4, 2 minutes to the win. He will go to a +6. Very well played though, guys. Really well played, Tanner. I thought you had turned it around at one point, but just all those bombers. So many bombers. I mean, I feel like you need loads of ground AA and like F-15s to be dealing with that amount of air spam. It's brutal. Yeah, Lathans is just pushing. He's going to go for the back point as well, I think. Thinking about it. Yeah, he's put all of his infantry back in the Warrior Milans and is moving them up. Leo 105 command coming back in across here, but 1 minute to the victory. Bombs dropping on the Leo 2A4 there. That is a lot of damage dished out. Tanner did such a good job keeping that Leo 2A4, the original one, alive for so long against all those bombing runs. He will retake this point. It is down to a +2. But in a moment, Tanner surely going to lose that far side as well. 2 minutes left, 7 minutes left of the game. There's no way Tanner can come back now. Don't get me wrong, Lathans has lost a lot here, but it's just simply too many points to make up. I mean, Lathans was all in. He's got a couple of Challenger Mark IIs coming in now to help defend, but the game is probably going to be over before they arrive. The Warrior Milans went in, checked the point was clear, dropped off a couple of infantry and a couple of Warrior Milans. The command is in there. Back to a +4. Leo 105 command charging across here. Last ditch attempt by Tanner to get in the centre, I think. I mean, this is a suicide mission. Gets the kill on the enemy tank. Can he make it in the point before the game ends in 23 seconds? I don't think he's going to make it to the point. No, no chance. 12 seconds. He's not even going to make it to the edge of the point. What a game, though. Lathans in his aircraft. So brutal. Well played, guys. And there it is. GG's. Well played, Lathans. Yeah, by the end there, the kills and losses weren't that different. I mean, that's pretty good going. Milan 2. I'm telling you right now, that was the Milan 2 in the middle of the map for Lathans. He's got so many kills. Jaguar, look at the Jaguar HE2. Chief to Mark 11 command, the Milan 2 at the other side. Tornado GR1HE, nothing too expensive. Leo 2A4, Jaguar HE2, yeah. Over at the other side, Leo 1A5 doing well. The Lux did a good job. got both of those 109s. I mean, that must have been satisfying for Tanner, killing the M109s. I would have been pleased with that. Look at the Gepard. Wow. Gepard gets MVP. Look at the kills on that. That was the one brought in at the end, I guess. One of them went down, but that one... mint stuff. Tanner playing as the 5th. French tank division, kind of. Technically they have tanks. They're just not as beefy as some other divisions. Versus Lathans with the Bandanner Group Era, which do have quite beefy tanks. Let's have a quick look at what's going on over here. Lots. Tanner really likes those Roland 3s. Once again, 2 out right at the start. He's got some AA guns this time. Most stuff coming up to Oscar. fact, everything there is going to Oscar. Surely the commands will go elsewhere. Where's the other command at? Where is it? There it is. It hasn't been given an order yet. That's what it is. I was going to say, surely the other command must go to Lima. He won't send both to Oscar, unless he sends it to Papa first and then Lima. We will see. Alouette going out nice and early, just for some eyes on. Dragon's Powers should be going for the church, and indeed they are. Reservists at their side, heading up to these buildings here. Not the most exciting of units. Yeah. So, AMX 30 command heading to Papa and up to there, and then to Oscar if it's safe. And the other command heading across to Lima. Let's see what Lathans is up to at the other side. Jaeger and Jaeger Metis pushing into these buildings here. Okay. Guess for a little bit of coverage of the middle of the map. And some Jaeger and Jaeger Metis heading into Oscar. Okay, so he's going fairly aggressive at this side. Grenza pushing up to here. ATGM. Up to... Okay, that's not too aggressive then. He's not feeling super confident about taking the town because he's keeping his ATGMs further back. T80B, reasonable tank heading into the middle there. A couple of Strelas heading over that way as well. And a Book. Obviously very good unit, the Book. Bit of air control. Command heading to Alpha and then up to Zulu. And in terms of what's going into Zulu, at the moment, 2 Jaeger Metis and an ATGM launcher. Looking to lock it down. T55 heading over there as well. Okay. Jaeger heading up this way just to cut anything off that might try and push in that way, I guess. So fairly aggressive at the far side. Let's have a look from this side, I guess, because realistically the party is going to start up here, isn't it? And at least this way we can see what's happening at the other side as well. So the question here will be whether Lathans survives in the point and does much damage. Obviously he's going to get there very much earlier than Tanner. And he will lock down the far side. Jaeger going fairly deep here. Obviously they've been spotted by the Alouette, so the Dragon Powers have deployed early. And he'll wait for the reinforcements to arrive. Strella's coming in now. I mean, Tanner has basically nothing to the other side of the map. But I'm a little bit worried about his lack of infantry at this side. Capped by Lathans. Alouette goes down. Jaguar HE coming in for a kill straight away. Bombing run on the infantry. Ooh, takes a lot of damage. Should get out a lot. Oh, the Book's on it. Ooh. The Book missed. Plenty of damage to the Jaeger. Lots of fire coming in from the Brennus against the Metis. Down the Metis go. Down the Jaeger go. Oh, those Brennus are melting the infantry. They just need to be able to see them in the buildings. And they're coming in from this side as well. Down go the other Jaeger. Oh, look at all that firepower. That is nasty. It's the fact that they've got an auto cannon as well as the main cannon. Command coming in this side. Needs to be careful about the Jaeger. Jet coming in here. Cluster bomber going for a kill on those tanks. Roland don't get any hits. Down it goes. Cluster bomber destroyed by the Roland trees. Doesn't actually manage to drop its bombs there, weirdly. Must have lost targeting. Surprised by that. Tanner gaining some good control there. Command goes in the point. ATGM pushing around this side. He's realised there's lots of infantry in the middle now. Equally, Lathans won't sit and wait. He's pushing out the other side. The Jaeger Metis and the FS Jaeger pushing out. Looking to get towards Lima. Brennis is pushing across here. T-80B is already down. Infantry taking a lot of fire. Now, initially I was worried about the lack of infantry for Tanner here, but the AMX-30s are actually doing a pretty good job. He'll just struggle in terms of close-range combat. He needs to be able to see what he's firing at without getting too close. There's a lot of tanks there, though. Side shot potential. Something took a hit there. AMX-30B took some damage. Jaeger waiting in the wings. Oh, nice hit on the AMX-30. And down goes an AMX-30B. More ATGMs coming in. A command also being moved in near this point. Lathans is just going to move that command in, perhaps. He's just going to countercap. Get himself a few points. Why not, if he knows everything is over the other side? Reservists very much alone over here. Currently getting surrounded by infantry. Alouette possibly going... No, it looks like it's going for the middle, trying to scout there. More reservists heading down to back those up, though. Or are they? No, I think they're being moved into this area in the middle. A little bit worried about the other side. Command goes in here. Quickly counter-capped by Tanner again. There's another T-80B there. Brennis is pushing up here. Clearing out the Strela. Alouette taking fire. T-80B gets a nice hit on the Brennis. The other Brennis takes a hit from the Jaeger. Brennis is routed. Jaeger getting peppered. T-80B taking fire from a Brennis. T-80B smokes itself. He'd rather not lose another one. Jaeger go down. Well, Tanner came out on top. He took a bit of damage, but he should be able to repair those tanks. T-55's coming in there now, but at this side, Lathans has pushed out. He's got a T-80, two T-80Bs down here. The book's been moved up. The command's been moved up to the point. And he's got a T-55 knocking around as well. Is he just driving that command past the reservists? Is that like a blatant middle finger to the reservists here? It is. It is a massive middle finger to the reservists. Of course, they don't have an anti-tank weapon, do they? No. I was going to say, I didn't think they did. Lathans just drove past them, giving them the middle finger. Bit brutal, Lathans. Lots of units over here, though, for Tanner. Question is, can he capitalise on that? Reinforcements being brought in at this side. More ATGMs. Lathans will be looking to just lock down that side of the map so that the tanks can't pass. Question is, how does Tanner approach this? Metis destroyed by the bomber there. Jet does escape with its life. P4 PC command there is going to get smashed by those Jaeger. But Tanner's horde is on the move. The AMXs are rampaging across the map now. And this is probably a good shout. If he just pile drives into the back line of Lathans. Wait, where is he going? He's split his forces up a bit and he's going down different roads. I'm a little worried about side shots. There are a lot of T-55 AM2s coming in here. ATGM's looking for some hits. Oh, Lathans knows it's coming. He's backing off a bit. P4 Command did get out alive. Here come those AMXs. Brennus takes a nasty hit. T-55 goes down pretty quickly. I'm wondering if Tanner doesn't have great eyes on here. T-80 firing off an ATGM. Oh, gets the command tank. Smokes itself off. Reservists looking for those Jaeger. Command tank smokes as well. T-55s pushing up to the top there. Have been caught by a Brennus, but managed to kill it. It does manage to do some damage to the T-55s though. Lathans trying to force Tanner to pull all his tanks back up to the top point. There's ATGMs in play though. T-55 goes down to the ATGM. And there's an AMX-10 RC coming in. Another Brennus coming down this way. Command back in this point for Tanner. Lathans with a little bit of a lead. Oh! Metis gets the kill on the command as it goes in the point. That was nasty. And Lathans will now move his command back in. Still +2 to Lathans right now. And it doesn't feel like Lathans has a lot down here, to be honest. He's doing a lot with very little now. He's got his 2 T-80Bs, but obviously he is outmatched in sheer number of tanks. Over at this side, Lathans is back in the point. He's got infantry in there. The MX-30s are kind of awkwardly positioned. I feel like Tanner needs to split them up at this point. The MX-10 RC sat at the back here, not engaging. ATGM's being marked by Tanner now. T-55's here. Oh, Tanner is in the church, which means he's easier to hit because the tanks can see that. Bomber coming in. Yeah, Jaguar going for that building. Lathans heard it and had already moved his units out. That was either in response to the tank fire or response to hearing a jet come on the map. He knew where it was going. Tanner not looking great in this point anymore. Not quite enough infantry in there. But the Brennuses and the MX-30s in general just mincing the infantry, to be fair. He's back in control over there. Everything is neutralized. T-80Bs repositioned. Along with the T-64BV. Very heavy tank for Lathans there. AMX-30 should clear up the T-55s. And the AMX-10 RC is being pushed up towards the middle there. Not going to be super effective against the T-80s and T-64, but if they can get a shot off before they get shot back. AMX-30B's rolling in this side as well. Look at them all. It's like swarms of them all over the map now. You know, I quite often underestimate the MX-30s, but they're not bad tanks, are they? And the sheer amount of damage they dish out to infantry is quite obscene. Now, look at this side of the map. Jaeger and Strela. There's potential here for Tanner to get round the back to Lathan's back point. And that would really mess Lathans up. But he needs to be careful about how much he sends there, because Lathans will push at the other side. as soon as he sees the opportunity. I'm just watching all of these Brennus move that way, and I'm a little bit worried that Tanner is going to send too much that way. It's a hell of a long way to drive them. Some Sappers Flam coming in for this area. AMX 30s going in to clear up the Strellas. Some Metis is coming in to defend at this side. KDA Commander at the back there behind all those tanks. HE Bomber coming in but veers off. Lathan's moving into position to head off these tanks actually. Jaguar HE evac'd. Another book is rolling in. Oh, AMX 30 takes a side shot from the Metis. Potentially a second one here. Oh, down it goes. And Tanner backing off. 26 minutes to go. And this could still go either way. Lathans is pushing the other side though. He's not just going to let it rest. He knows where all these tanks are ploughing around. The MX-30s are pretty fast. A little bit of tank maneuvering going on at the moment. I'm wondering if Tanner can simply outmatch Lathans in terms of speed of the tanks and pile driving them across the map. I mean, he's now heading back across to the other side. And Lathans is just retreating back over. But equally, Lathans could use this opportunity to push back into this side. There's not a lot defending it in the grand scheme of things. AMX-10 RCs killing the ATGM. AMX-30B sitting in defense at this side, though going up against the Metis launchers. There's just not much infantry in there for Tanner. Artillery trying to catch those Jaeger Metis, who are on the move. Reservists taking a beating, and the command heading back in there for Lathans. And that Brennus horde is coming. At the same time, a little bit of aggression at the other side of the map. And Lathans is pushing both sides. He's got not a lot down here though. Look at what's down here at this side of the map. Speaking of air, oh my word, look at the air spam. Oh my word. 1, 2, 3 rocket attack jets, a cluster bomber, HE bomber, another HE bomber, and another HE bomber. Cluster bomber goes down. HE bomber drops. The second wave is coming in, the rocket attacks. Down goes an MX-30B. Jaguar HE's coming in to try and counter that. One Jaguar HE goes down. Is going to drop its bombs on the tanks at the far side. All the jets getting evac now. Mirage comes in. Potentially going to take fire from the books though. MX-30 has to retreat here due to the Jaeger getting close. Mirage somehow not getting killed there. Is evacing. And Tanner's held at this side. And he's kept most of his tanks alive. If Tanner's aggressive here, he can take this entire side of the map. I mean, there's literally a mostly dead Metis, an ATGM, a book, and a command vehicle. But look at the reinforcements. They are on the way. More stuff being called in. Tanner needs to move really quick. He doesn't have time to sit back. He needs to move quickly. Tanner doesn't realise what we know, though. There's nothing in that point right now. Come on, Tanner. Just go for it. Just go for it. Just because it makes the game more exciting. 22 minutes left. Tanner could turn this around here. As long as he can hold at both sides. If he can get in this point. I'm a little bit worried he's not moving fast enough. The T55s are coming in quickly now. Along with a lot of Matsuchin. Come on, come on. Oh, the HE bombers are coming. Finally, Grenadier Voltigers come in there with the APLS launchers and kill off the Motorstrelki. Roland's being pushed across this side. Artillery being used to good effect by Tanner. Hitting the various Metis infantry squads. The command is almost in this point. Come on, Tanner. Though the infantry have arrived. Tanner much better position now. Roland's engaging on those bombers. AMX Brennus's engaging on the T-55s. I'm worried about all of these infantry coming in now. There's going to be a lot of tanks close to a lot of RPGs. Oh! Ooh! Now that's what you call some lucky Rolands, P-Bat. That's what you call some lucky Rolands. Has Tanner realised that there's infantry in here? I don't think he has. He doesn't have his own infantry in there. The reservists are moving up slowly. Over at the other side, Lathans has retreated. He's pulling all of his T-80s back to the other side of the map. Currently +2 to Tanner. 22 minutes. No, 23 minutes to the win. 20 minutes of the game remaining. I can read numbers. I mean, this is a really good game. Very impressed with the AMX-30 play, to be honest. I really do underestimate those tanks. But massed up like that, they dish out the damage. More SPW-70s coming in down here with more infantry. MX-30 is about to get minced. Pure MX-30B. Mortars coming in on this point. Artillery coming in on this point to kill that infantry. AMX-30s dishing out some damage. 2 AMX-30s killed recently though. Jet coming in for Tanner. I'm not sure what it went for. Obviously the repositioning here. The T-80s coming in this way for Lathans now. Roland 3 a little bit far forward there maybe. Along with that AMX-10 RC. Mirage coming in. Getting shot at by the book. Takes a nasty hit. Command looks to be coming back into this point for Lathans. It remains +2 currently. The AMX command tank is still alive though. It's back in the point. All the other AMXs are getting repaired that are still alive. Good use of artillery by Tanner. It continues. There's no counter battery from the side of Lathans, which is interesting because the Berliner Gruppierung do have access to a lot of artillery. There's the command in. Where is this P4 command going? No! No! Wait, is that going to get past? No, it's getting hit by machine gun fire. And there it goes. That was going for the back point. Proper misbehavior there. He might have been better off going for this side. I think he would have had more chance getting across the back there. Reservists here simply outgunned and outmatched. Commandos coming in. And another commando coming in from the way over the side there. Obviously very good units. Mortars firing from this side. Artillery coming in as well. Tanner just pummeling the town. He needs to keep his command in there and he needs to keep it alive. More T-55s coming in for Lathans here. There's an engine damaged AMX-30B2 all the way back there that desperately needs a repair. Here come the HE bombers again, looking for a kill on that command tank. No! Command tank's taken out by the infantry. And those were hitting the AMX-30s at the back. And Lathans recovers his point. Gets a lot of kills on a lot of tanks. I wonder how many tanks Tanner has left in his deck. Unfortunately for Tanner, operating very tank heavy is risky. He had very little infantry in this game so far. Smattering here and a smattering there with a heavy focus on those AMX-30s. And without the infantry in this town, he's just quickly overwhelmed by Lathans. And I think this could be game here. Lathans is just going to plow through this remaining infantry and vehicles straight into this back point. And that's going to leave Tanner with very little on the map. That was such a good pushback by Tanner. I honestly thought he had turned it around there, but without the infantry in that town, the tanks were just at the mercy of those RPGs. And obviously unable to push at the other side of the map at the same time meant that Lathans could just move all of his tanks around this way. Although he left his T-64BV over there, just in case. And Lathans once again doing a lot of damage with those aircraft. Command infantry called in for this back point. 15 minutes left. But looking at the map, if we zoom out, there is a lot of red on this map now. The losses are going to be quite heavy for Tanner at this point. He was doing such a good job with that tank horde, but he does have some left. AMX-30B2 is coming in the far side. But Lathans just ploughing through everything. I would not put it past him to try and get something all the way to Papa here. If he can get a command to drive across the middle of the map over there, he will. AMX-30s at this side going in. But again, they're getting close to these buildings and this forested area. Plenty of damage to the infantry though. But look at all these T-55s swarming across behind the lines. I don't think P.Uri.Tanner can survive this. Command goes in there. Lathans with a +4. AMX-30's working hard at this side. Commandos being dropped off. It's a tough one, but I really don't see how Tanner can pull this back. Command being called in at that side as well. Lathan's feeling confident. He can overwhelm what's in this point now, and the truth is, he can. He can just flood all of his T-55s and T-80s towards it. All of that firepower. Once he spots stuff with the infantry. Lathans on a roll tonight. Looks like he's won 3 of his 4 matches. Sotek doing a very good job in his first match versus Lathans. Tanner doing a great job in these games, but unfortunately just lost a few too many tanks when he got into that far point. And Lathans obviously now has pushed that front line really far forward. And at a +4 with 11 minutes left on the clock, he'll win much sooner than that, even if Tanner manages to retake this point down here. HE Bomber coming in. Again, going for those tanks. Gets some damage on one. Doesn't kill it, though. Cluster Bombers coming in at the far side, looking for a kill on some tanks. Does it get it? It does not. Strafing runs by the Mirages now. Command goes down. That was the command infantry. He must have called in. I was going to say, that's the command infantry he only just called in. The other one must have been the one waiting to go in the entire game. This one has arrived. There's no counter command in there. Command goes in at the other side for Tanner, but it will still be +5. Wait, +4? Hang on a minute. How much are all these points? Oh, Lima's worth 2. My bad. Lima is worth 2. The fancy's just swarming everywhere. I kind of miss the AMX-30 swarm now. It was quite effective. I'll have to keep an eye out for other people doing that. It was quite impressive. Lathans moving forces back across the other side to stop that AMX-30 command. 10 minutes left. Victory in 4 minutes for Lathans. Tanner fighting to the bitter end here. Giving us a good show. Many thanks to these guys. Everyone who's played tonight in the league. Doing a fantastic job. Giving us a really good show. Really putting on a great fight in all of these games. But I would expect nothing less from Tanner and Lathans, to be honest. They always put on a good show. They've been in it since pretty much the start of early access. Looking at this other AMX-30 B2 command that's rolling in at the top here and thinking, nah, you're not getting past those T-80s and T-64s. Cluster Bomber coming in. Looking for a kill. But veers off. It has dropped its bombs though. But doesn't get it. The T-80 rolled forward. And the cluster goes down. AMX-30 B2 command goes down at the far side. Back to +6 for Lathans. Seed coming in now. A little bit late in the day. Unfortunately, the book that was at this side is out of ammo. I don't know if it's being microed by Lathans, but he is pretty good at microing those things. There we go. It has launched. The book was getting rearmed and repaired there. Didn't manage to get a shot off. Was turned off. But the Shilka went down. Seed coming back around for another pass. Has no missiles left though. The book is firing at it. Does miss its target. Well played, guys. Tanner once again seemingly almost turning the game around, but Lathans just putting up an epic fight. What I like about Lathans and Tanner is they're two people who aren't afraid to reposition their entire force. You saw it with Tanner and his tanks, one side of the map to the other, one side of the map to the other. And the same with Lathans. Just moving those tanks around the back. Not everyone does that. And if you watch enough games, you'll notice it. There are certain players that really will commit to moving their forces around. Even if it completely opens up their other flank. They're just hoping that their opponent doesn't realise what's going on. Well played, guys. Commiserations, Tanner. Congratulations, Lathans. You know, for a 32-minute game, Lathans was out on top in kills to losses, obviously, by the end, but it was, you know, it's not a massive difference. And those AMXs did a good job. I was actually really impressed with them. Well played, Lathans. You had a good night. Metis did a good job there. A sneaky Metis around the side of the map in the forest was quite effective. Good games, guys. I enjoyed those. I hope everyone else enjoyed them as well.